On the subject of music, it only seems appropriate to introduce our first two guests tonight. Music legends Sir Rod Stewart and Jools Holland. Good to see you both.
Very nice to be here.
Congratulations on the shoe-sock combo, Rod.
Wicked, isn't it?
It's so
wicked.
amazing.
He's
We're going to try and get a shot of them. Here we go. There you are. Amazing. Jools, we just saw that VT there. You were watching it with interest because obviously you're all about, you know, the power of people learning musical instruments, aren't you?
Yeah, I think it's a great thing. Anybody involving themselves in music, it's never too late. However old you are, it's a great pleasure. Not like it's wonderful if you're lucky enough to do it professionally, like us, but just taking it up as a hobby, or you know, when people are ill, it's a great way of like if people have got dementia, they remember the music. If somebody's kind of got a disability, it will release them. They're liberated from that disability when they start playing. Yeah. So yeah, I think learning music is a great thing. It's the best thing you can do.
That's a good answer, Jools.
That was a good answer.
Yeah, lovely.
It was lovely.
Jools, now I'm going to come to you because you've joined forces for the new album, of course, with Rod, Swing Fever.
Yeah. The
big question, who made the first move?
Well, I did. I phoned him up. I tried to make this album in Los Angeles, but the band were too polite, not rough around the edges, which is what I wanted.
Right.
So I thought, here's my man. He's rough around the edges, so I called him up at Christmas. You tell the story, Jools.
Well, later on, I should say, came and said, I want something rough around the edges. I said, you've come to exactly the right man. But, yeah, I was just before Christmas. I hadn't got to know Rod that well. Our paths had crossed a couple of times. I've been listening to it all my life. I'm a fan of his voice. But anyway, the phone was just before Christmas. Hello, it's Rod Stewart here. And I thought, it's somebody having a laugh. He said, just want to wish you a happy Christmas. I said, oh, yeah, thanks. He said, and what about next year? Do you want to make a record with me, with your band? So I thought for a millisecond. I said, yeah, OK. And he said, OK, I'll see you next year. And I put the phone down. I thought, did that really happen? It's like sort of a strange, surreal dream. I said to my wife, Rod's just rang, said, Happy New Year, make a record this year. Oh, that's nice, dear. Yeah, sure, yes.
You've been drinking again, haven't you?
Exactly, you know. So anyway, then and the whole thing, simple as that phone call, has been as simple as that, hasn't it?
Yeah,
a pleasure.
It's been a tremendous experience.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so easy to record. You can hear it on the album. The whole thing was done live. You know, it wasn't layered in the studio like they record nowadays. Whole band, 18-piece band, played live, and I did the vocals, overdubbed the vocals, you know. Yeah. So it was an absolute pleasure. It's music we were brought up on, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I think music, we come from the same place. Our parents and grandparents would play this old music, but then also we come up through the London blues thing as well. And I think it's a mashup of all those things together, you know. But the songs, they have we make them simple and we make them swing, and it's just been a pleasure, isn't it?
We're simple people, aren't we, Jools?
That's right. We're simple tastes and simple shoes.
Well, let's have a look at your take on the Frank Sinatra and Nat King Cole classic, Almost Like Being in Love. Sorry.
Almost like being in love.
Sorry.
Cough it up, girl.
From the way that I feel when that bell starts to peal, I would swear I was falling. I know I may be falling. I feel like I'm falling in love.
Ah, very good.
In the railway station.
And this is a brilliant idea, isn't it? Jools, you were so impressed, though, with Rod's attention to detail, weren't you? Especially on one track in particular.
Well, I mean, he is a man for detail. The first track we recorded was Lullaby at Broadway. Gilson, the drummer's doing the rock around the clock beat. And in the original Lullaby at Broadway, which is a 1930s musical, Busby Berkeley musical, there's like 500 tap dancers all doing this, you know. And anyway, we didn't have tap dancers, so he said to me, well, we've got to put tap dancers on there. So I said, well, I'm sure somebody can make something up in the studio that will give you that effect. And he said, I don't want an effect. Until he rang me, he said, I don't want any effects. It's got to be real. And in his house, he'd got a huge load of tap dancers, mics on all their feet, and we went round and they... Fantastic.
Yeah, Busby Berkeley. Have you heard of Busby Berkeley?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where that song came from, and we had to have tap dancers, get the tap dancers in.
So you got them all in?
Yeah.
Just make one phone call. Yeah, can I have that 70 tap dancers?
2 dozen tap dancers,
I love
please.
it. I love it. Well, there's also, obviously, you both share such a love of music, but the love I was surprised to hear that you share is of model railways. And we've got a wonderful picture here. Now, whose house is this then?
That's his layout.
I think that's my layout.
So, Jools, that's yours?
You can see the old the hospital in Greenwich there, the lovely white building, and yeah, exactly.
And it's really clever, isn't it? The ceiling painted like that, like the sky. Is that in a loft room then?
That's hidden away upstairs. There's a lovely sky. I have to say, you see, I've got the post office tower in the distance.
Yeah.
Well, if you imagine about 4 post office towers put on top of one another, that's the size of his buildings because he's in Chicago in the 1930s. So they're as big as him.
One of them's taller than my wife.
Really?
No, really. Don't laugh, mate. You try and build a skyscraper.
Hey, I couldn't.
Mine's all Detroit and New York, so in the steam age, 1940s.
Hey, it's very impressive.
This is a lovely pairing, this is,
I
isn't
love
it?
it. Yeah, there's another
must
TV
have a
show in
hobby.
that as well. 100%. 100%. Hey, well, look.
Yourself. Not that sort of hobby.
Right. Swing Fever is out on the 23rd of February.
Jools and Rod aren't the only double act on the show. In a moment, we'll be joined by Alison, Steadman and Katherine Parkinson, who return tonight in the BBC sitcom Here We Go.
Yeah, now before we chat, let's see what's in store for the Jessops this series.
Please welcome Alison, Steadman and Katherine Parkinson.
The classic mistake, a nightie at the top of the stairs.
Terrible, terrible. Now, look, lovable, dysfunctional family. I mean, Katherine, tell us all about it. Where do the Jessops fit in?
Well, the Jessops are quite a typical family in lots of ways. Alison plays Sue, my mother-in-law. There's a sort of open contempt between me and my husband, which is very familiar to me. But there is love at the end of the day. So I think they're quite a typical family.
And for you then, Alison, what makes this sitcom stand out compared to lots of the other ones?
It's such fun. We spend every day just enjoying the whole family life thing, and it's a lovely character that Tom has written for me. And I love her. I love playing her.
And Katherine, we have to ask you, what are the family faced with this series?
Well, my character, Rachel's gone back to university, but she's similar to my age. She's 45 and she's a mature student, and she tries to kind of... They don't drink and... they're much more sensible, basically.
And Alison, your character is faced with another sort of scenario, which is downsizing, and lots of people watching at home will be super familiar with that. How does Sue handle that?
Well, she doesn't handle it very well, really. I mean, she's got this big house she wants to get rid of. She wants to buy a flat. She's looking for a flat. But all the time, I think in her heart, she just wants to live with her son and daughter-in-law.
And that's a big no-no, obviously.
It takes a while. It takes a while to come round to the idea, but you don't give up, and then...
Well, she gets a flat, and this flat, she describes it, and you just can feel the emptiness of this place, and there's no one to talk to, and she's all alone, and you really feel for her.
Yeah.
And
she starts chatting to the lady in the lift, doesn't she? The voice in the lift becomes her friend, so,
Bad times.
But, Katherine, I mean, you said about it earlier on, that you kind of get the role a little bit too much, as you said. You're a bit used to it. But do you see your own family within the Jessops?
I would say that Rachel and Paul remind me of my parents had me and my brothers very young, and I think when you grow up together, there is what's very familiar to me is like the really kind of full-on rowing that takes place. They really shout at each other and are quite hateful towards each other, but ultimately are bound together and love each other. And I think you see a real journey with our relationship this series, and it all comes good in the end.
And it's often in families, isn't it? It's somebody in the family that's encouraged your love, whether it's singing or acting or comedy. Wasn't it your mum, Alison, that was sort of keen on you doing impressions and kick-started something for you?
Oh, yes. Well, from when I was about, 8 or 9, I started doing impressions and would watch Hilda Baker on television and thought, my whole family thought she was hilarious. And so I started doing impressions, and my mum would encourage me. And she would say, "Oh, turn that television off, there's nothing on. Alison, do Hilda Baker." I said, yes, I'd run up the stairs and grab her coat and a fur, collar, and put a hat on and come down and doing... And because my parents used to fall about laughing, so I thought, oh, this is good. Maybe I can do this. And gradually, as I got older, I joined youth theatre, and so... But my mum kicked it off, and my dad as well. They were both lovely parents, but they really encouraged me in acting.
Well, there you are. Thank goodness for your mum.
Yeah,
I'd be thinking that when I watch this in Gavin and Stacey. Here we go. Returns tonight, 8 o'clock on BBC One and iPlayer.
Yeah, still to come, Ella Henderson will be performing her latest single, Alibi, which is riding high in the charts. But before we speak to her, let's see why Ella's songs have become anthems worldwide. Please welcome Ella Henderson. Ella, we're going to have to talk about it straight away. Song of the Year you are nominated for at the Brit Awards for React. I mean, and we were talking about, you know, families and everything like that, and we have to speak about your video with your nan. Your nan reacting to you
so proud.
Getting the nomination. I mean, well, proud, but does she know the song?
I think she really understood.
Yeah.
She's so proud still.
Let's take a look.
I've been nominated for Song of the Year at the Brits.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's exciting, isn't it? With, you know, the song that I did with Switch Disco, React, that one.
Relax.
React, not relax.
React.
Yeah, that's the one.
That is brilliant. So now, has
Love you,
your
Nan.
nan... Oh, she's lovely.
She will be watching.
Will she?
Yeah, she'll love
Brilliant.
that.
Hiya, Nan. Now, have you, Nan, has she had a look at your outfit choices for the
She
Brits?
hasn't. I've not even decided. I've not even thought about it yet, to be honest. But she will definitely have a strong opinion on whatever I end up wearing, I'm sure.
Oh, look at her. There she is. Amazing. She's thinking glam, though, is she?
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
guessing.
she's glam gran for 100%, yeah.
Glam gran. Amazing. And we have to say congratulations to you as well. Have you thought about your outfit? Roman's going to be hosting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, don't know yet. I might borrow something of yours, maybe.
I've got a lovely fluffy dressing gown you
lovely.
can have.
Lovely.
Fine.
But look, Alibi, let's talk about the song as well. You're going to be singing it shortly with the gospel choir. Now, it samples one of the greatest hits of all time, Gangsta's Paradise, right?
Does.
Coolio. So were you worried a little bit taking on a classic like that?
Yeah, I mean, it was very accidental. I was doing a writing camp for me last summer, and we got back in the studio and ended up just listening to Gangsta's Paradise. And I started humming over it and got on the piano, and that's kind of where it was born out of. But I had no idea that it went back to Stevie Wonder, Pastime Paradise. So that's what I was terrified of Coolio's team and everything having to pass it off. But even more so, I was like, hang on, Stevie Wonder's going to have to listen to this and pass it, like, say yes. So the fact that I know that he's listened to it is my favourite thing about this record, to be honest. And yeah, it was an absolute pleasure taking it on. It's always scary doing a sample, and I think there's definitely like a big thing around it, but it happened very organically. It just felt right. I never thought it'd see the light of day, to be honest, because of all the process that you have to go through to get it out there. But yeah, seeing how it's, you know, reacting and everybody's enjoying it, that's the main thing. And I love this record, so I'm excited.
I mean, it's, you know, talking of sampling the record there, Rod, so many people have sampled your songs over the years gone by as well. Do you find that as a nice compliment when you get that?
Absolutely, yeah. Especially, you know, someone like ASAP
A$AP
Rocky when he did Broken Dream.
Yeah.
Fabulous version. Yeah, it's always a compliment. Lovely.
Yeah.
Oh.
Really nice.
Well, thank you very much, Ella. Alibi is out now, and you can hear Ella giving a brilliant performance of it very shortly. But well, that is almost all we have time for. But before we go, we've just heard in the last hour that Escape to the Country presenter Johnny Irwin has sadly died at the age of 50. And our thoughts are very much with his family and friends.
Yeah. And tonight's show has been an absolute pleasure, and thank you so much for all of your wonderful messages as well for our guest. Helen says here, seeing Rod Stewart on the One Church put a smile on my face, and my mum absolutely loves him.
Whoa, Rod and Jools, such talent, such charisma, such socks. Gorgeous, says Lynn.
My mum.
And I like it as well. Sally says, absolutely love Alison in all she does. Brilliant actress.
Me too.
Lovely.
So nice. Big thank you to all of our guests tonight for joining us. Rod, Jools, Alison and Katherine.
And now to take us into the weekend, performing Alibi alongside the brilliant CK Gospel Choir, it's Ella Henderson. Have a lovely weekend. See you Monday. Bye.
You better run and hide, 'cause I know where you were last night. So I'm lying try to say I'm sorry and the liquor made me. Did mama never tell you how to treat a lady? By this time tomorrow you gon' really hate me. That you wish you never played me. You took her in our bed, you got no respect. What did you expect? Now I burn this house down. To the left, I'm on to the next. I'ma get my sweet revenge. Tell me how you lie so easily. You've been messing with her, don't mess with me. Tell me how you lie so easily. You've been messing with her, don't mess with me. You better run and hide, baby. I know where you were last.